What's going on, traders? Welcome back to day 16 of 25 days of trading. As we enter the home stretch of this 25-day series, make sure you go back and watch the previous days and stick around for the ones that are soon to come. But I want to talk about ES versus NQ. Now, I've made individual videos on this probably a year ago and a half a year ago. So let's update a little bit, and you look at the price action today, you'll see exactly what I mean. That what is the better asset to trade? Well, I think it's going to be person to person, as well as your risk tolerance and how you read the trend and the slowness of some charts maybe. But just simply looking at it today, we'll go over my strategy. Looking at the first break of opening range low. First, we'll start with ES because they both had great opportunities. I don't think one is not a good asset and the other one is. I think they're both good. Sometimes ES is cleaner, sometimes NQ is cleaner. So looking at ES to start, sellers break the first break of opening range low here. Now, if you've seen my full VWAP strategy, it's available on ASFX TV. Absolutely free. Get your first month. Just click the link down below. I'll teach you not to chase that first break because it often doesn't run very far, if at all, and sometimes it's just straight up inducement. But we get sellers are in. Pull back close to New York VWAP, right? How do you time this maybe on saying, can I sell it yet? Like I want to see it actually touch the VWAP and then maybe it moves without you and you haven't gotten in yet. So like what do we do, right? Because we're trying to be too precise and get it right off that VWAP. Not a bad setup though. But let's say you do short it. You get a stop loss at the high of day, that's for sure, knowing sellers, if they're going to defend this VWAP, they should not make a new high of day, no matter what asset you're trading. If you're in a short and you're making a new high of day, probably on the wrong direction. But you also see this VWAP below us. That's previous days New York. We could bring open this 15-minute, and you'll see it wasn't the cleanest of price action. Overnight, actually, I kind of was liking longs because you look at yesterday's 9:30 open. Let's treat that as our higher low. Pre-market here, where we have this short marked up right down here, you can see we are below this overnight VWAP on the left side, so sellers are in from there. But we have this blue one, previous days New York. Could it act as support and we make our next higher high from here? So our shorts, even the direction, could be a little bit tougher to read, but we're trying our best on stream to just say, you know what, let's just follow structure. What side of the VWAP are we on? Who's in control? Read and react. Stop trying to predict too much of by end of day, we're going to create a higher low and we're going to bounce back higher. If this does bounce higher and create higher highs and higher lows, then we'll long it on the way up. But right now, it's telling me to sell it. So let's say you do short this on a break there, stop loss at the high, right? You probably should take it to that VWAP. You don't know what's going to slice through it this strongly. So let's say you take it to there. It's a nice 9-point move. On NQ, however, where I was trading it this morning, loved the setup. We'll just bring over my markup because it's just super clean. Still, first break of opening range low. I don't want to chase that. Returns to New York VWAP fully for like 5-6 minutes. Sellers are holding it. Beautiful. I get the same stop loss at high of day saying, as long as sellers don't give up a new high, I want to be short. And notice that the yesterday's New York VWAP here is also as resistance, right? So where on ES, we're kind of above it, maybe saying that's going to be support. On NQ, we're below both of them already. So nothing is telling me not to sell this. I have structure, both sides of the VWAP, great stop loss, and the 15-minute, we're underneath all VWAPs. And you have no resistance or support below you, I should say, to freak you out of this short. That why not keep holding it, right? We're on ES when we just looked at, you probably, if you are short, should get out at that previous day's New York, right? Because you don't know it's going to break. If it bounced from there and moves back higher, you're going to say, why did I short it here and not capture that move, right? So I think on this day, NQ was better. So screenshot this, save this. Like I said, it's all on ASFX TV here. If you just go and capture, use code FIRST, you'll get your first month free. And like I said, absolutely free. The full strategy on here. There's 3 strategies in the live streams every day. So tune into those once you've gone through it and you'll understand why we're taking each setup, where the stop loss goes. But that's on a Friday. The Thursday, right before it, December 11th, this is NQ. We're not going to look at this trade. We already went over that in a different video, but just this price action here, right? Consolidating around New York, breaking below, breaking above, looking from this open back here on the left, still a lower high, right? So I didn't love the longs down here just because of that simple fact that maybe we do get a lower low, right? But sellers are just really struggling, and then it finds its trend and buyers bring us higher, right? But if we look at ES on that day, same time, oh, I'm a buyer. There's not a doubt about that because we've made a new high. We're making higher lows off of VWAP where I want to be a buyer, right? So I'm capturing that, capturing this bounce, and all those bounces. It's super clean, identifiable, and trending a lot clearer here on ES. On Thursday, you come over onto Friday, it's vice versa, right? So that's why none is 100% better Just some days NQ is cleaner, sometimes ES is cleaner. I'll trade both, not at the same time. I'll just trade whichever one looks cleaner that day, right? I'm looking at ES on this Friday, saying, yeah, I don't love that VWAP underneath us. We didn't really fully touch it. And it's not like I'm breaking my rules by saying, well, I could short NQ because there's no support underneath us. Given that it is below, I'm not fearful that ES can't move lower because this is pointing like it wants to move lower, right? So using the two together, saying I get clean structure, follows my plan. Let me not get too induced by ES wanting to maybe come higher because it doesn't look like that over here. So let me just read and react to what I'm watching, right? I'm not going to look at a different asset and then let that turn me off to the asset I'm trading over here more times than not, right? But I think, like I said, volatility is definitely higher on NQ, right? But that comes with pros and cons on you can win really quickly, you can lose very quickly. You can lose a lot of money, you can make a lot of money, but it's all just risk parameters, right? You could still lose just $100 on an NQ trade, right? You probably put one micro on this, that's $2 a point times 70, you risk $140, right? So you don't have to take on more risk by trading NQ. You still can size down, but regardless, let's go over one more setup on this day. This is on the NQ play. We're short back here off of the VWAP, two VWAPs as resistance, great stop loss, right? Makes a strong move away from VWAP. I like my bounces off of the New York VWAP, which is why we're in the original short and why these longs are so good. I don't want to chase it away from there and hope it just keeps on drifting higher. Of course it can. Of course it does sometimes, right? If I bought it there for whatever reason, it goes higher. You can make money, but consistency. If I buy it down here, I know I can win a lot more trades and capture a lot more move or quicker of a move. So I'm more interested in these lower buy prices, similar how over here, I don't really want to chase lows, pull back. I'll sell it back down to where we just were, not chase a low and keep on going lower, right? I think you guys, if you have tuned into any of these videos, you get that by now. I need a pullback. It's a pullback strategy. This isn't even all the way to New York, so I don't love this. I don't have it on here. But we probably could anchor a view up to this last time we touched New York. Now, I know I didn't touch it exactly, but I think it'll probably be running along there, right? Saying, here's the best pullback we got. It's also something we talk about is timing. Notice on the flip of this bar, when we turn back a little bit bullish, not insanely, but 10:30, right? So we had an hour of just sellers in control, 10:30 hits. The next 15 minutes are bullish. Now, at 10:52, it's breaking the lower day VWAP. So this next 15-minute candle in here at 10:45, right? Tried to start bullish, now flipping bearish, leaving a wick above. This might want to go continue the trend lower because we've had that 15-minute pause of buyers being in control for a full 15-minute bar, right? And now we're like 4 or 5 minutes into the next one. Let's go continue that bearish sentiment because it's below the low of day VWAP. I think this can definitely carry. This is a momentum play for sure because you're very low. It's clearly all sellers. I wouldn't put a stop loss there, but even if you put it here above New York, you still get plenty of move, plenty of risk reward out of it, right? So there's definitely money to be made even in the morning or later in the morning on ES and NQ, right? It's not like there was only money on NQ today. People did short it on this one here into that VWAP, and it's still a viable trade. It makes money. Happy days, right? But I was maybe happier with the trade on NQ because it just looks cleaner, right? So to each their own. Make sure you study both if you can handle it and not get too confused by stalking both of them, hopping around every 5 minutes looking for a trade too much. That gets dangerous, but overall, make sure you guys check out Futures 2.0. Check out the streams. First month free. The link's down below, but I appreciate you guys tuning in each and every day. Make sure you leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow morning.